Hi dear fans, friends and subscribers. Very happy to know that you're all loving my cricket show, which is absolutely wonderful. So here I am back on Saturday. As you know, it's always a late night cricket show. Well, as far as this particular cricket show is concerned, I'm going to, as you know, there are not much international matches happening. So what I'm going to do in this part of the cricket happening show is we are going to have a look once again at the Caribbean Premier League. Two matches were played today. We'll talk about that. There was a wonderful match which was played between the Jamiaca Tallawahs and the Guyana Amazon Warriors, and the victors were Jamiaca Tallawahs, with Andre Russell smashing the ball to all parts of the ground. And not only that, when with 10 runs to win, Jimmy Neesham was the bowler from the Guyana Amazon Warriors. He sent him for a 4 and then came up with the winning hit, which was a 6. I mean, they needed 10 runs and he exactly made that. In the last ball, 6 runs were needed, and it was Andre Russell who cracked Jimmy Neesham for a 6. So that was an exciting match. And then there was one more match which happened between Red Steels and St. Lucia Zooks, and it was the Trinidad and Tobago Red Steel which actually won the match in a very convincing fashion there. I'll talk about that, and then we'll also have a look at the final. This was the quadrangular 8-team one-day series. I'm going to start off with this. This was, as you know, it's a quadrangular 8-team one-day series, and this was the final match of the series, Australia A versus India A. And let me tell you, this was a quadrangular series, and this quadrangular series was played in Australia has been won by India A, and what a match that was, because as you know, the Australia A and India A have been playing a lot of matches, and it has been really going like pretty even right now. But today was the final of the quadrangular 8-team one-day series, and India A would be very proud of that effort. They actually beat Australia A from a situation which was very difficult. Let me tell you, 274 for 5 was put up on the board by the Australia A players, and 275 was the target. But India A were in such a bad situation that they were at one stage. It looked like all over for them, in the sense they were really struggling. I mean, they couldn't really keep up with the pace. And at 182 for it was 161 for 5 when Sanju Samson departed. But well, so after Sanju Samson departed, it was R. Dhawan and Kedar Jadhav who actually took them to victory. I will talk about that. But let's have a look at the Australian A card as to how they played. This was played at the Marara Oval here in Darwin, and Australia A were the ones who actually batted first. And in the 50 overs, they made 274 for 5. Cameron White actually opened the innings with Phil Hughes. The other day, as you know, Phil Hughes made a record double century, breaking an existing Australian domestic one-day international record. And here it was Australia, Cameron White today getting on to a century. He was promoted. I mean, he was told to open the innings, and he went on to make 137 runs off 150 balls. 10 fours and 5 sixes, and in fact it was a big partnership which laid the foundation for Australia to go on to score a score of 274, because Phil Hughes and Cameron White added 146 runs for the first wicket in 27 overs. In 26.5 overs, Cameron made 137. Then Phil Hughes contributed 51 of 70 balls with 3 fours, 24 from Alex Doolan of 35 balls with 3 fours. Moises Henriques and Mitchell Marsh failed with the bat, making only 5 and 4 respectively. Ben Cutting that was there in the end to attack the Indian A bowlers, making an unbeaten 35, 21 balls, 1 4 and 2 sixes. And Callum Ferguson was not on 3, and as I said, Australia A put up 274 for 5 of 50 overs, which was a very good score considering that this was the quadrangular finals that was happening. As you know, South Africa A is also the other team in this particular tournament. Mohit Sharma 1 for 55, Dhaval Kulkarni 3 for 51, Dhawan none for 30. These are all the Indian hopefuls who are playing. 10 overs 1 for 47 for Akshar Patel, none for 34 for Manoj Tiwari. KV Sharma 10 overs, the current Sharma, the leg spinner, 10 overs costing him 48. As far as India A were concerned, starting their chase, they didn't have it anything to their liking, as Manan Vora was run out for 8. Robin Uthappa was also cheaply dismissed by Kane Richardson for 12 of 9 balls, 1-4. And Ambati Raidu was also sent back to the pavilion. LBW bowled Ben Cutting for 7. And then it was left to Manoj Tiwari and Ambati Raidu to stem the rod there. And they definitely stemmed the rod in a very nice manner by putting on a very, very useful partnership, which yielded 82 runs for the 4th wicket. But not Ambati Raidu, it was Jadhav, Kedar Jadhav and Manoj Tiwari combined to put up a 4th wicket partnership, with Manoj Tiwari's contribution being 50 of 75 balls with 3-4. But Kedar Jadhav played a very, very good hand of 78 with 73 balls, 6 fours and 2 sixes. Sanju Samson was dismissed pretty cheaply, run out for 5, and then it was left to Rishi Dhawan. I mean, the score was 182 for 6 when Jadhav departed, and probably one thought that this is going to be a very tough task for the India A players. But I'm sure. I mean, I have to say that Rishi Dhawan and Akshar Patel took India to victory. In fact, they took India to victory with almost 8 balls to spare, which was a good effort, I thought, because Rishi Dhawan went on to contribute an unbeaten 56. It was an unbeaten partnership from 182. They took India to victory with a score on 275 for 6. And looking at that, it was a partnership which was worth 93 unbeaten runs, which took them to, which won them the final of this quadrangular 18 one-day series in Australia. Akshar Patel, well, he also impressed very well. He was not out on 45, 38 balls with 4 fours and 1 6. Rishi Dhawan definitely impressed with 56 or 55 balls. In fact, being a person who was really playing with a very, very matured head, I would say. And India A won these finals. Bowling, well, Kane Richardson, Rishi Dhawan contributed 56 of 55 balls with 4 fours. And as far as the Australian A bowlers were concerned, Kane Richardson was always bowled, has been bowling very well. Today he gave away a lot of runs, 58 runs with 1 wicket to his name. Clint McKay, 9.4 overs, none for 57, was also costly. Ben Cutting was the successful bowler, 3 for 46, none for 34 for Mitchell Marsh, 6 overs for 48 runs for Cameron Boyce. The leg spinner was very costly. The Indian batsman definitely paid special attention to Cameron Boyce, the right-arm leg spinner today. 7 overs for 30 for Moises Henriques, and the India A winning this 2014 quadrangular 18 one-day series here in Australia. So congratulations to the India A team. Okay, so now we are getting on to the Caribbean Premier League. Now, Caribbean Premier League, let me talk about the first match, which was a very exciting affair, and it was Andre Russell all the way. Well, Guyana Amazon Warriors were the ones who actually batted first. This was a match between Guyana Amazon Warriors and Jamiaca Tallawahs, which was played at the Savannah Park, Kingston in Jamaica. And Guyana Amazon Warriors, well, they didn't have it very easy. In fact, they were really struggling, and finally they finished with 137 for 9 of 20 overs. Lendl Simmons on the top of the batting order was the highest scorer with 34 of as many balls with 1 4 and 3 sixes. Martin Guptill making 15 of 14 balls with 1 4 and 1 6. And there were, if you look at it, there were only 4 persons who actually reached. In fact, there were only 3 persons who actually, 4 persons actually reached double figures. Jimmy Neesham making 35 of 26 with 2 fours and 1 6, and Barnwell contributing 23 of 18 balls with 2 fours and 1 6. And Guyana Amazon Warriors, they lost. Mohammad Hafiz and Dinesh Ramadan failed there, making only 5 and 3 to their name. Leon Johnson made 3, and then 137 for 9 was the score for the Guyana Amazon Warriors. Bowling, well, Bernard had 1 for 25. Vettori bowled superbly, 4 overs 1 for 16. Ivan Theron, 4 overs no made and 2 for 38, bowled well. Jerome Taylor, as usual, he has been having a wonderful Caribbean Premier League for the last 2 matches, I would say. He was man of the match in the previous match, and here he is once again bowling superbly to have a 3-wicket scalp here for 14 runs. Miller 1 for 17 of his 2, he had 1 over 9, and Andre Russell. Now Jamiaca Tallawahs, chasing 137, were definitely not, I mean, I wouldn't say they definitely, there was some sort of, they were in, I wouldn't say they were in a lots of trouble, but definitely the situation was not looking good for them, because they lost Walton pretty early in the piece for 5 of 8 balls with 1-4, and then Chris Gale was dismissed by Mohammad Hafiz for 22 of 23 balls with 3-4s, and Blackwood was sent to the pavilion for 6. And also when Adam Vokes fell for 12, suddenly there was some pressure on the Jamiaca Tallawahs, with the score reading 62 for 4 at that stage. And at that time, if you look at the equation, they had another 40 balls left, and they had to make almost, we can say, 76 runs in 40 balls. And Andre Russell, well, he started off a bit shakily, but later on went on to really ram the bowlers, ram the Grand Amazon Warriors bowlers by hitting them absolutely, I would say, clean as a whistle. And Andre Russell's contribution was the one which actually took them to victory. There was pressure, but Andre Russell kept up to it. He actually deposited Beaton into the stance for a 6, a 4. Then he started off by hoisting Veersamy Permal into the stance for a 6. Then it was Beaton. Then he went after Jimmy Neesham in a big way, and then he launched Santoki into the stance for a 6. And finally, as I said, the match went down to the wire, and there were 10 runs were required of the 2 balls. And I'm sorry. And of the 2 balls, Jimmy Neesham was the bowler, and well, it was Andre Russell today not doing anything wrong, because he spanked a 4 of the bowling of Neesham, and then there were 6 more runs required, and well, he had the cheek. Andre Russell had the cheek and the guts to go and deposit Jimmy Neesham into the crowd, and that was it. What a victory for Jamiaca Tallawahs. It was a real well-deserved victory. Andre Russell was the man of the match. Jamiaca Tallawahs winning the match by 6 wickets. Of the final delivery of the match, he won it with a 6. Krishmar Santoki 1 for 26. Jacobs 1 for 18. Beaton the other day was the hero. Cost 26 runs of his 3 overs. Mohammad Hafiz 4 overs 2 for 13 was absolutely superb. He just gave nothing away to the Jamiaca Tallawahs batting, and he was the one who created the pressure into the Jamiaca Tallawahs batting lineup. 2 for 13 for him. Neesham 4 overs none for 31. Permal bowled only 2 overs, went for 20 runs. And also Andre Russell also took a good catch too. So Andre Russell of Jamiaca Tallawahs taking the Player of the Match award in this particular match, where Jamiaca Tallawahs are winning the match by 6 wickets. Now let's go on to another match, which was a pretty one-sided match. Which was played at the Bisiju Stadium, Gross Islet in St. Lucia. And St. Lucia Zouks, well, even though they were playing on the home ground, it was the Trinidad and Tobago Red Steel team which actually won the match. It was St. Lucia Zouks who got first use of the wicket. In fact, they batted first, and they were 117 all out. As far as the St. Lucia Zouks innings were concerned, there were 4 people who actually reached double figures. One was Andre Fletcher, who contributed 24, was the highest scorer of 36 balls with 3 fours. Lesporis made 22 of 23 balls with 3 fours. 18 from Sohil Tanveer, the other day, who smashed 5 to 6 sixes there. 18 for 14 balls with 3 fours, and 11 from Tino Best towards the end of the innings. 117 was what they put on. Johnson Charles and Henry Davids failed, making 0 and 2 respectively. Darren Sammy couldn't get anything onto the bat. He was out for 5. Madeira Vandermeer made only 1, and finally 117 all out was never a good score for the home team St. Lucia Zouks. And the bowling was absolutely on the mark. Shannon Gabriel 4 overs no made and 2 for 20, 3 for 20 in fact, bowled well. Badri really weaved his arm over beautifully, and he really put the batsman in a real sort of a real bind here. Because what he did, he bowled excellently by just giving away 10 runs of his quota of 4 overs. Ben had 4 overs 1 for 20. Bravo 4 overs 3 for 33. Even though he gave away runs, he picked up the wickets. 3.5 overs, no maiden, 26 runs and 3 wickets for Kevon Cooper. And then Trinidad Tobago came on to actually came in, and they actually got a victory with almost 5.1 overs to spare, with Kevin O'Brien going pretty early out for 9 to the bowling of Jordan. But then E. Lewis, who we all know that he's a very, very aggressive player. That's what he has shown in the Caribbean Premier League, and he has already made a statement that he's pretty determined to actually get into West Indian colours. So that definitely shows the determination in the eye of this particular player, Everton Lewis. And Everton Lewis went on to smash 59 runs of 39 deliveries, 3 fours, and look at the sixes that he hit. He had 5 sixes in a knock of 59 of 39 deliveries. Ross Taylor contributed 39 balls, 2 fours and 1 six. Nicholas Pooran is a very, very talented youngster, actually finished off the match by going aerial going aerial over. It was the bowler was M. Matthew, who was sent soaring into the stands by Nicholas Pooran to bring the winning stroke. He was not out on 7 of 3 deliveries, 1 6, and Trinidad and Tobago winning the match very comfortably by 8 wickets. The bowling, Sohail Tanveer, 2 overs, went for 11. Tino Best, 2 overs, no maiden, none for 20, a bit costly there. Jordan, 3 overs, 2 for 25. Matthew, 3.5 overs, no maiden, none for 21. 3 overs for 30 for Liam Sebastian, and Wheel of Vanderbilt bowling 1 over for 12 runs. And the player of the match went to Shannon Gabriel of the Trinidad and Tobago Reds team. Well, dear fans and subscribers, as I said, there was not much cricket, and tomorrow also I don't think there are any cricket matches happening, but well, Pakistan are already there in Sri Lanka, and Misbah-ul-Haq, the Pakistan captain, has already said that Mahela Jayawardene is towards the end of his career, and they would like to get Mahela Jayawardene's wicket pretty early. He could be the one who could be really someone that Pakistan would be worried about. Definitely, why not? He's just playing. I mean, he's going to retire, as you know, after this tour of. I mean, after the series against Pakistan. And well, Misbah-ul-Haq, I think he's definitely right. I'm sure towards the end of his career, any player would like to really go in glory, and Pakistan would be pretty wary about it. And I'm sure they would be making all the plans to get his wicket pretty early. But again, that is not something which is going to be, it's not something which is going to be easy. As you know, Mahela Jayawardene is a very experienced campaigner, and good luck to Mahela Jayawardene. Well, dear fans and subscribers, as I said, I don't have much to talk, and as you know, it has been a late cricket show, so I think it's up. Right now, it's time for me to wind up this cricket show on this late cricket show on Saturday. Thanks for your company as always, and thanks for your tremendous cooperation to the show, tremendous appreciation for the show. Well, I just don't have any words. I mean, keep that going, and I will be going with you. If you keep going, I'm always there with you. And dear fans and subscribers, this is your host Ram, bidding you all a very good night. Thank you.